Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Friday, the 15th of October 2021. A lot going on today. A lot being talked about in anticipation of the return from the international break. It feels like it's been ages, doesn't it? We're playing Luton at home tomorrow, so let's just jump into it and see what everyone's been writing about today. So newsandden.co.uk, they have this. Why Millwall's 2021 points per game average offers hope as Lions boss identifies challenge. Gary Rowett is aiming to be better than just consistent as Mill heading to the next period before the international break that on paper at least offers them a good chance to climb the table. The Lions host Luton Town at Den on Saturday and are on a 7-game unbeaten league run despite not having a full squad to choose from in 2021, with almost every member of the first team spending time out injured or ill. The Lions are on just under 65 points when you average their 37-game total over a full season. What does that mean? "37-game total over a full season." That is a complete bending of the stats. So from the start of, I assume they're talking about from January 2021 to now. If you average it out, it's 65 points. So you take the points per game and times it by. So take the points per game from 37 games, times that by 46 games, and we will be on 65 points. And over the last decade, the team that has finished sixth has averaged 74.3. So we're clearly not good enough. It's not good enough. Mill will be aiming to increase that points per game tally over the next 6 fixtures. 4 of the 6 games are at the Den, while Mill will have little fear of going to Sheffield United and Huddersfield. The Lions have their eyes on climbing further up the table. "I think we've been in and around where we want to be for a long time now," Rowett said. "The challenge for us always is to aspire and try to get a little bit higher and look at the ways that we can improve to do that. But we started from a good place of relative consistency and a good platform. So it's just about those little moments when we've got to improve, and having players available for longer periods to do that work will see us get better. We've been pretty consistent for a few years now, but that's not enough, is it? We want to be better than that." One area Rowett knows can help Millwall get the extra points they need is set pieces. 5 of their last 7 goals have come directly from that route. Rowett said, if 5 of the last 7 goals have come from that route, it's the only way we score goals is from set pieces. So maybe you should try scoring goals not from set pieces, and then the set pieces will be the cream on top. Rowett said, "We'll probably underperform previously. Adam and the analysts do a lot of work. Really, Adam does most of the set piece stuff. We chat about it. Robbo and Joe are involved as well. Really, it was more about people having the desire to go and score. We've had plenty of set pieces and put decent delivery in. I think our delivery can be more consistent. That's one of the challenges. But you can't really do more than hope the players in there get their head on it. Hutchie scored 6 the season before last, and I would expect him to do something similar this season. Coop's the same, Muzzer the same, Matt Smith, they're all big lads. I'd expect them all to be within 3, 4, 5 goals this season, and it makes a huge difference. You saw a set piece won us the game against Barnsley. We've had other set pieces to win other games, but just haven't found those moments. That's something we'll work a lot on over the international break, but we've looked more of a threat over the last 3 or 4 games." So this literally I don't. The one area that Rowett knows will get the extra points is that they need is set pieces. But then they go on to say 5 of the last 7 goals have come direct from that route. So we're only scoring from set pieces. 5 of 7 goals from set pieces, 2 of 7 not from set pieces. So surely you would want to score some goals not from set pieces. And are they including the penalty as a set piece? Jed Wallace's penalty as a set piece? Or was that more than 7 goals ago? Yeah. All in all, very weird story there. Anyway, just win games, mate. It's not that hard, is it? If you want, you play to win the game, and then the rest will take care of itself. Here is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss, no need for us to take selection risks for the Luton match. Millwall manager Gary Rowett will take no risks with the fitness of Scott Malone or George Saville for tomorrow's home game against Luton Town. So basically they're going to be out. Midfielder Saville missed Northern Ireland's 2-1 defeat in Bulgaria on Wednesday due to a knee complaint. Malone, pictured above, suffered a quad injury in a 1-0 win over Bristol City shortly before the international break. When Scotty went down, it looked like he'll probably be out for the best part of a month to 6 weeks, said Rowett. We're thankful it wasn't more serious. We're not in a position now that we have to throw people in before they are ready, or throw them in because we haven't got another player in that position. The whole point of having a squad is that you can really make good decisions on players who are ready and raring to go with no issues. To select a really healthy 11, that's the challenge. So, Saville and Malone out for tomorrow's game. Now, we've got a couple of things with Jed Wallace. Jed Wallace has been doing some press, it seems, probably because he's on the cover of the programme, which I have in my hand here. It got delivered this morning, nice and early, so that was decent. Yeah, pretty good read. Stats underline just how crucial Jed Wallace is to Millwall as attacker closing in on another milestone. No football team is about just one player, but the statistics underline Jed Wallace's importance to Millwall. The 27-year-old has scored or assisted in all but one of the matches, stalemate or Swansea, that the Lions have picked up championship points this season. Wallace has been directly involved in 8 of their 11 league goals. It's been his best start to a championship season in terms of end products, with 4 goals and 4 assists after 11 matches, with illness ruling out of the recent trip to Norton Forest. And Wallace has played a huge part in Millwall's 3 wins this season. The Lions were trailing a 10-man Blackpool in late August and crying out for something special. Wallace provided it with a peach of a free kick that was nominated for Championship Goal of the Month. You don't need to telling who then produced the cross Jade Cooper to head a 90th minute winner. That man right there on your screens, Jed Wallace. The former Portsmouth and Wolves man had only been on the pitch a matter of seconds before he dispatched a penalty to see off Bristol City on September 29. And namesake Murray headed home his corner to earn a 1-0 victory at Barnsley just before the international break. It's been alright, is Wallace's self-deprecating response when asked about his impact. I've been quite consistent. You're going to have more chances taking set plays. It's not just down to delivery. We've worked hard on set plays. If Muzza hadn't scored the header, then Cooper was queuing up behind him. It's down to the lads in the box. I had a bit of a stroke of luck coming on against Bristol, getting a penalty 30 seconds later. You're rubbing your hands together. I want to play as many games as I can and be up near the top of the league for goals and chances created. As an attacking player, that's what you get judged on. It's also what gets you noticed by other clubs. Wallace has little more than 8 months to run his Millwall contract and seems to be in a very strong position. There aren't many championship attackers who can boast his numbers, scoring double figures in 2 previous campaigns. He has played 201 matches at this level and is just 18 games shy of hitting 250 in a Lions shirt. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago when I was playing for Lewis in non-league, then I'd have taken that number, said Wallace. But I don't want to settle for that. I've still got massive aspirations to play at the highest level I can. Oh dear. Getting to 250 games for Millwall would be a great achievement. There are a lot who have probably played 100 or 150. But once you start getting into those 250 pluses, it's a lot of games for one club. I feel grateful to do that. I want to keep going, and hopefully one day people might speak about me in the same breath as Jimmy Carter and Paul Eiffel, famous Millwall wingers. Wallace has praised goalkeepers Bart Biakowski and George Long for helping hone his penalty technique on the training ground. I'll ask Bart if he looked at my last 5 or 6 penalties where he thinks I would go. There's quite a lot behind it these days, like where the keeper normally dives. I mix it up with my penalties and probably practice 3 or 4 with Bart and Longy. As you saw the other week, it can be the difference. I'll look at a keeper's last 15 penalties and see where he dived, and if he has a favourite side, then I'll make my decision during a week where I'm going to go. But that can change. I always think about the free kick I scored against Cardiff a couple of years ago. Literally until my last step I was going to cross it in, and I thought, let's just hit it, and it went in. Bart studies take us to the point where When he sees the run up of the player, he knows they have tells about where they're going to go. Bart has saved something like 4 out of 7. He's brilliant at it. He studies it with LT, the goalkeeper coach, even down to how many steps they're taking. If I score past Bart in training, it gives me a lot of confidence because there can't be many better out there at saving them. Coming on as a sub isn't something I've done often, but mentally I felt really fresh against Bristol City, especially off the back of a rest. Benick was a little unlucky. He wanted to take the penalty. Wallace has played his part in Millwall, heading into the last 2 international breaks in upbeat mood. The heat was firmly on when Wallace was standing over the ball and surveying his options in the Blackpool match. He conjured up the perfect pace and trajectory to whip it beyond Chris Maxwell. I like pressure, said Wallace. I was 18 and playing every week at Portsmouth when they were going through administration in League 2. I very quickly got used to the pressure. I missed it last season with no fans in the stadium. I like it when there is that build-up. Who is going to be the one to step up? I thrive off that. It was a big moment for us and also Coops to get up and score a header like that in those conditions. I'm a big believer that there have been 4 or 5 people at Millwall who have been a constant in the last 4 or 5 years. People like Bart and Coops you can rely on week out. The week before, Coops had the disappointment of the Cardiff game, where he probably felt he didn't have his best moment against Hayden Flint when he loses a header for one of their goals. But you can see the strength of character that Coops has to make the difference a week later. Millwall are unbeaten in 7 heading into tomorrow's home encounter with Luton Town. It's very, very tight in the table, said Wallace. The last 2 games has been a penalty decision and a set play that has made the difference for us. That's pretty much the championship, isn't it? We're probably never going to be a team that's going to lose 4-0 or win 4-0. A good week can transform things and a bad week can leave you looking over your shoulder. Well, you do have a tendency under Gary Rowett of shipping 3 goals when it's going wrong. That's happened numerous times. Middlesbrough away, Nottingham Forest away, or was that home? I don't know. I think that was away. So it does happen. But it's good to see that they do their homework. They study who's taking the penalties and all that kind of stuff. So very good to see that they put the effort in and put the effort in to try and get it right. So now we've also got this from Jed Wallace. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk as well. Scotland and Ireland had a little go at seeing if Millwall Star was eligible to represent them. Only Premier League superstars Mo Salah, Son and Riyad Mahrez have produced more goals and assists since the start of the 2017-18 season. So it's no surprise to hear that Jed Wallace's international options have been explored. The Millwall winger is part of a pretty exclusive group of players who have scored at least 30 goals and 30 assists over that period. Wallace has netted 36 times and set up another 32, nudging him just ahead of West Ham's Saïd Benrahma. Former Charlton target Sorba Thomas had recently been selected by Wales after starring for Huddersfield this season with 6 assists and 1 goal. Other leading attackers at the level are Reading's John Swift, who represented England at under 21 level, and Cardiff City's Telford-born Ryan Giles, 21, who has won 4 caps for the Three Lions under 20 side. Over the years, I think Scotland and Ireland have had a little go at trying to see if I can represent them, said Wallace, who made 1 appearance for England under 19s against Scotland while on Portsmouth's books. I think I miss out by 1 generation. I don't think I can do it. Yeah, you need like a grandparent. So he's saying it's great grandparents, so just missing out. But listen, who knows about England? Jamie Vardy didn't do it till he was however old. There are a lot of 26 or 27-year-old lads out there hoping they can be the next Jamie Vardy. Stranger things have happened. Wallace can see plenty of upsides from having some extra time off in the international breaks. The latest of those ending this weekend when Mill head back into the championship action against Luton Town in SE16. I enjoy the time at home, he said. I love being with my kids. A lot of time with football. I'm away for 2 or 3 nights a week. It's nice to have a Sunday and Monday off and spend that with my kids and missus. I'm a very intense character, so me being away from football at times can be a good thing. It lets me switch off a little bit from thinking about football and not building it up too much in my mind. Football is intense anyway, but when you play for Millwall it feels 10 times more intense. It's that kind of club where there are fanatical people No. And I've also been here a long time, so it means a lot to me. I'm so determined for us to bridge that gap that I put a lot of physical and emotional effort into it. It can be draining. It's not just about the distances you're covering, but the mental side too. Sometimes it can be nice to think about sticker books and soft plays rather than run after a ball that someone has hit to the channel for 70 yards. Wallace isn't an admirer of Luton boss Nathan Jones. He's done a great job. He's a manager I've always looked and thought I'd like to play for that guy. He's a really attacking style of play. They get on the front foot. They are one of the smaller clubs in the league, but they certainly play with energy and are very aggressive. Okay. So, there you go. Bit of behind the scenes from Jed Wallace. And let's move on now quickly to more from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Very busy today. A Luton Town boss, a big admirer of Jed Wallace, and revealed he tried to sign Millwall man before. Luton Town manager Nathan Jones has revealed he once tried to sign Millwall winger Jed Wallace. The two clubs face each other at the Den tomorrow. Jones said, Jed has probably been Millwall's best player for a number of years now. Bundle of energy, he's real good quality. I tried to sign him when I was at Brighton. I watched him at Portsmouth on numerous occasions, always did well in a wide role and always had great energy. Luton Town haven't beaten Millwall at the Den since May 8th, 1999, when they won 1-0 in Division 2. Jones said, It's always tough to go to Millwall, we know that. We went there last year and didn't give a good account of ourselves, but we're looking forward to the game because it's a test to see how far we've come. Have we evolved from last year in terms of performance, desire and a belief that we can go there and get a result? We will see. Coming up against Gary's side is always tough. They've got experience, size, energy in certain areas, so it will be a massively tough game, but I'm sure they will know playing Luton is a tough game. Jones indicated that former Millwall winger Fred Onyedinma is available following a spell out injured. Onyedinma left the South London club in summer of 2019 to join Wycombe Wanderers before moving to Kenilworth Road in the summer following the Chairboys relegation last season. He's back. We've got pretty much a clean bill of health, said Jones. One or two probably won't be ready for Saturday in terms of exposing them to a game of the magnitude of Millwall way, but they are ready and they are training and they are ready when they're called upon. So what's he saying? Fred's not going to play on Saturday? He's saying he's fit, but he might not risk him against Millwall because it's too big a game for him. Interesting, and interesting that he tried to sign Jed when he was at Brighton, because is that where Jed might be going now? The end of the season. They tend to love a foreign player these days, but it would make sense either Southampton or Brighton to sign Jed Wallace. I'm sure he would like that, close to where he lives. Spend more time with his family, like he mentioned before, not having to travel so far. We will see. But contract's still there, Jed. Contract's still there. So now, the game tomorrow, moving on. Isn't it fantastic to be back? Millwall games are coming back. None of this international bollocks. So, Millwall versus Luton. Over the years, you can see pretty much not a lot of red L's there. It's not a game we often lose, although when we were having our troubles after the administration and whatnot, Christmas game as well, 18th of December 1996 lost, 28th of December 1997 lost, and what probably may have been the last game of the season lost. Without scoring a goal as well. So 3 losses in a row. That was the worst it's ever been for a Millwall versus Luton spell. And then just a random loss. It was a 4-1 loss in December 1934, and then a loss in November 1936. So if we play them in December, it seems to be very, very bad for us. And another one here, yeah, look. 8th of December, 1973, lost. 26th Boxing Day, 1978, lost. So don't play Luton in December, Millwall. Whatever you do, do not play them in December. Luckily, it's October, so we should win this one. And it seems pretty much bang on to what we played them last season. So we played them last season. Last game we played them, we won 2-0. 20th of October 2020. So almost to the day. We'll be playing them on the 16th of October. So is that a good sign? Who knows? But you can see there, not only do we beat them, but they very rarely score against us. So we keep a clean sheet. So the last 6 games we've kept 4 clean sheets. These are games at the 10. So very one-sided affair. Not as one-sided as the Charlton game, where we absolutely smashed them, but close enough. So there you go. Does that mean we'll win tomorrow? I certainly hope so. Yeah. So what does anyone else think though? David Prutton, what does he think? David Prutton, Sky Bet Championship predictions. This is from skysports.com. What does he say? What does he say? Where are we today? All the way at the bottom? Scrolled. Oh no, we're not. We're there. So Millwall versus Luton Saturday 3 PM. 2 narrow wins for Millwall before the international break, and they have stopped drawing games! Exclamation mark. At least for now. They are not too far off the top 6 at the minute, and that will please Gary Rowett. Luton thumped Coventry and then drew 0-0 at home to Huddersfield, which just underlines how tough it is to predict this division can be. They like a draw too, and I can't split these, so I'll go for a share of the spoils at the Den. Prutton predicts Millwall 1, Luton 1. Okay. So he reckons it's going to be another draw. We're back to the draws, are we? That will not be a good result, drawing at home to Luton. It really will not. What do we see from whoscored.com? So they've got this, but that doesn't really mean anything. So we already know, basically Gary Rowett said George Saville and Scott Malone will be out. Will they be out, or will they be out on the bench out? Probably going to be out. So that means Murray Wallace playing left wing back, and this website reckons Billy Mitchell will be replacing Saville, but who knows? So what do they say? Match facts: there have been under 2.5 goals scored in Mill's last 6 games. Yeah, not a lot of goals indeed. Mill have won 5 of their last 6 home matches against Luton in all competitions. So we have won 5 of the last 6 home matches against Luton. Won, not drawn, not lost. Millwall are undefeated in the last 7 matches. Yes, we are. So Millwall's 2 Wallaces combined for an 89th minute of the last time out as the Lions departed Oakwell with all 3 points. Rowett's men started the season poorly, but now are unbeaten 7 league games and are sat in the top half of the table. Hey, Luton created plenty of chances against a high-flying Huddersfield side last time out, but wasteful finishing cost the Hatters 2 points as they were forced to settle for a goalless draw. Nathan Jones' men have drawn 4 of their last 6 league games. And they reckons Millwall are 1, Luton 0. Yes, if they can't score against Huddersfield, our defence ain't no mugs. I doubt they're going to score against us. Hopefully not. Unless they shoot from long range. So, there you go. So we've got a prediction of a draw and a 1-0 win. Another 1-0 win. And if we're going to win, that's how we win. 1-0, because we can't seemingly score more than 1 goal, because basically all of our goals come from set pieces. So let's have a little look here. Let's switch it to that one. There you go. The last 6 matches of Millwall versus Luton. The last, so you can see the clean sheets. We've got 2-1 nils there. We've got 0-0, 2-0, 3-1, 2-1. So they've only scored 2 times in the last 6 games. This is a fixture we dominate, and the form we're in at the moment, I expect us to dominate it as well. Yep. Let's just scroll past this shit. Apologies for that. Don't want to see any of that stuff. I want to see Millwall. So here's the table as it stands. Millwall are in 11th. Luton are in 13th. They have scored more than goals than us, but also conceded more over the season. Most recent form, they've only lost 1 game in the last 6. That was Bournemouth away. They beat Coventry at home 5-0, and they drew with Huddersfield. So there's the recent form. So where does that leave us? That on the form table to win last 6 games. Form table: Millwall 9th, Luton 13th. Both teams will have a draw. I can see why Brighton went for draw. Both teams four draws at last. Four draws from the last 6 games. That's but look at that, 12 goals for them. They did score 5 against Coventry though, so that would kind of skew it there, wouldn't it? Let's do that and let's do that and see. So they haven't failed to score away from home in their last 6 away games. So that Huddersfield draw was at home, but away from home. So whatever they're doing, they're probably on a counter-attacking style, I would imagine. So seeing as Gary Rowett probably knows about that, I imagine we're in for a boring sit back and don't go forward because they might counter-attack. We can't have that style of play. And if we don't attack, how are we going to score? But you can see here Luton have scored at least 1 goal, mostly a couple of times 2 goals. And West Brom, they lost, but they scored. They was 3-2. And Blackburn, it was 2-2. So whatever they do, probably. So they attack down the wings, and they're very good at finishing scoring chances, stealing in the ball from the opposition. So they play high press and then quick counter. Okay. They play long balls. Haha. Attempt crosses often. Attack down the right. Play with width. Take a lot of shots. Rotate the first 11. Okay, so having seen all that, I assume that Gary Rowett knows that as well, and they will do something to counter-attack that style of play, and I assume that will mean that our forward attacking options are limited. And I was actually quite optimistic before I started reading all this stuff. It's the first time I'm looking at it as we're looking at it together, and Jules Saville missing, Scott Malone missing. I reckon it's going to be Millwall 0, Luton 0. I reckon we're going to try so hard to stop them from scoring, as they've scored in every away game that they have. And we're going to try so hard. We're going to set up to make sure that they don't score. That's going to mess up our chances of scoring as well. And I reckon it's going to be Millwall 0, Luton 0. Prove me wrong, Gary Rowett. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Millwall players. I would love it if we smashed them. The fixture where we generally do smash them. When was the last time it was 0-0? Let's have a look. Has there ever been a 0-0? Not 2008. So it's yeah, and then 1994. So it does happen. Yeah, I'm going for Millwall 0, Luton 0. And I really hope they prove me wrong and we win 2-0, but having seen what I've just seen now, I assume Gary Rowett will try and nullify Luton's attack, which will nullify our own attack, and we will see a 0-0. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye now.